Why'd you do it, Oos? Feels. Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about WWE Night of Champions 2023. This is my review, but before we get into that, please hit subscribe, please like this video, please comment your thoughts down below, and I will try and reply to every single one of them as we dive into this show. Okay, Backlash was really good, like exceptionally good. Night of Champions had what looked like could be a few killer matches on it. The tag team title match, Cody Brock, even maybe Asuka Bianca to an extent, and Seth and AJ for the new World Heavyweight Championship. This show I thought was okay. Wasn't great, wasn't terrible, it was okay. I enjoyed watching it. It was okay. That's what I can say about Night of Champions, but I have some big creative issues that are glaring me in the face with a couple of matches and a couple of things that happened. So we'll dive into that. We'll dive into what happened on the show. I'll run through every match, every angle, everything that happened, starting with the opening video package, which was a narration from Triple H talking about champions, and it's cool. Champions are cool, okay? We are champions, all that kind of thing. And we kicked off the night with Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the new World Heavyweight Championship. This is one of those creative issues that I have. You're trying to establish this belt, and in its first ever match, it is not the main event. It is opening the show, which I get is a good place. Opening the show is a good thing, especially in recent times. You have the two various matches. You have the main event and you have the opener to really set people off. But this is not the main event. That baffles me and just rings true of everyone saying this is a consolation prize or not as important as Roman's. It's a secondary title. Even AJ himself said that. So, a very bad thing to put this on first. In my opinion, this should have ended the night, regardless of how hot the Bloodline angle was at the end, whatever was happening. I think this had to main event because this feels so secondary now, and they're going to have to really ramp up the creative on it to make it feel the same level as Roman's, because it doesn't. It wasn't even a Universal Championship match when Roman was main eventing. You know what I mean? It's weird. But it was Seth and AJ going back and forth in a really, really good match. I really like that match from, I believe, Money in the Bank 2018. I could be wrong about that. I really love that match. I think it's really underrated. And these two work really well together. I think it was very back and forth. AJ was a face. Seth was a face. There was no sort of heel shenanigans in here. If anything, Seth was playing up the heel at the beginning by really getting the crowd on his side, stalling for time essentially until AJ just got fed up. But you had some of my favourite spots ever. Seth Rollins' superplex into a Falcon Arrow is a thing of beauty, and when he does an inverted one, it's even better. AJ dropping a brainbuster on the ring apron was really cool, and I do like the story that they told that they just needed to hit the finisher to win. They couldn't hit the finisher. It was going to be the first one who hit the finisher would win. AJ hit the pedigree, got a very, very near count on that. That was really, really cool. But it was eventually Seth who hit the stomp for the win. He is the new World Heavyweight Champion. I think it's a good decision to have it on Seth. I'm almost hoping he gets cashed in on quite quickly for some reason. I think there's a lot of good stuff in the chase for Seth rather than him being the champion. So we'll see where it goes. Maybe we'll get some Gunther in there, some Bronson Reed, some big cool heels going up against Seth. Give him a really meaty program going into Money in the Bank. I think that'd be really interesting. A really good match. Kicked off the show well. I just don't think the World Heavyweight Championship should be here. Then we got a small video package about how Cody's broken his arm, guys. And the next match was Becky Lynch taking on Trish Stratus in a match that I thought was decent. It was a little bit sloppy in places. Trish is an amazing heel. Everything she does just is sensational to watch. She's great at playing the heel. Becky, I'm not too into as this face. She doesn't really click for me as much as she did in like the old The Man gimmick, sort of pre-COVID era, when she first beat Ronda and Charlotte. That was The Man for me. This big time Bex and The Man thing is not grabbing me, essentially, but I think it's been a really good feud, and I think it was a really good match. But the angle at the end, I don't want to talk about some of the stuff in the match. I want to talk about the angle at the end, because the angle was sick. So Seth. Wow. So Trish had been knocked to the outside. Becky goes after her, and Trish is sort of crawling under the ring. You don't really know what she's doing. Becky pulls her out, throws her back in the ring. But who should appear from under the ring looking like a badass? Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark comes out, hits the, I want to know what it's called, the G360. Is that what it's called? Let me check my notes. Z360. The Z360 pops, I think, either Becky's lip or her nose, because she was bleeding at the end of it. It looked insane. Trish hits the Stratisfaction. She picks up the win. And now we've got Zoe Stark and Trish Stratus on the same page, potentially leading to another match at either Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. I'm here for this. I think this is so cool, and I cannot wait to see where this feud goes, particularly with the introduction of Stark. I think it's a great way to get over someone new from NXT by putting her with a legend, and I bet we're going to get Becky and Lita versus Trish and Zoe. I can see it coming. The next match we got was the easiest one to call of the night. Mustafa Ali took on Gunther. Gunther with the best entrance potentially in wrestling today. He looks so cool, apart from the flags. They're a bit weird, if you know what I mean. But this match, my God, this was potentially match of the night for me. Because Gunther, the way he sells and the way he tells stories inside the ring is second to none. His selling, his sort of flailing everywhere selling, is captivating to watch, and he really put over Mustafa Ali in this. Mustafa Ali, who had a huge reaction from the crowd in Saudi Arabia, and he was an ultimate underdog babyface in this. He was getting the piss beat out of him by Gunther, but when he made a comeback, by God, he made a comeback. It was really fun, a really great David Goliath story that eventually ended with Goliath winning. Essentially, Goliath was like, I've had enough of this, and just powerbombed Mustafa Ali right into the ground. I hope this means more for Ali. I hope he gets more out of this, because I really love him. Ever since 205 Live, when he had the insane no DQ match with Buddy Murphy. I nearly said Matthews. Same person, different name. But yeah, I loved this. I thought this was a really, really cool match. Just keep Gunther on TV as much as physically possible. He's just brilliant. Loved this. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens cut a fiery promo backstage. Well, Kevin Owens cut the promo. Very fiery promo backstage. And then we got Asuka versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. Because they're on different brands, but it's confusing. A newly turned heel Asuka. I love both of these two, but I don't think they click necessarily. I wasn't much for this match. I thought it was a bit tedious, a little bit monotonous, and I wasn't too gripped by most of it. I think it's interesting that I think now people are turning on Bianca. There was definitely some Let's Go Asuka chants in the crowd, and we of course had it with the Io Sky match at Backlash. So from here, I don't know where you go with Bianca. She's lost the title because Asuka went for the missed, and then missed it again on her hand, wiped it in the eyes of Bianca, kicked her in the head a few times, and pinned her. I thought it was a really underwhelming way to end Bianca's reign, that she's like the longest running women's champion of the modern era, or something like that, some mad statistic like that. So I think it's a shame that it ended this way. I might be in the wrong here, but yeah, this didn't click for me. I'm hoping heel turn Bianca. That'd be interesting. I'd be interested to see a heel Bianca, but you've got heel Asuka, so I don't know where to go with that. But yeah, this match underwhelmed for me. The next match we got was a blisteringly paced, just awesome match between Rhea Ripley and Natalya for the SmackDown Women's Championship, in which Rhea Ripley just killed her. Rhea Ripley ripped her apart. That's all she did. We're just normal men. So what he did, basically, was Dominic Mysterio just got in the face of Natalya. That was it. Just got in the face. She got distracted. Boom. Rhea Ripley just ends her, throws her into some steps, throws her into the guardrail, rolls her into the ring. Riptide. 1, 2, 3. Dominic and Mammy celebrate. This was perfect. Absolutely perfect. I really hope we do get a better feud for Rhea Ripley going forward. But this was everything I wanted it to be and made Rhea look so cool. I love them as a double act. They're just cool together. So we'll see where this goes. Big thumbs up from me. Then we got the second match of the triple main event. Bollocks. I've said it before. I hate the triple main event thing because none of them feel special. Especially this one because it's not even it's not opening and it's not closing. It's just sort of stuck behind the actual main event. So it's not a triple main event thing. I hate that. I hate that they're doing the double main event thing that they did at Backlash. And now it's a triple main event. I hate it. Rant over. But it was Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. And I'm going to be a bit negative on this one as well because this just did not work for me from a storytelling perspective because I get what they were trying. I do. That Cody, he's had his arm broken. And from there, he has to sort of hide, but he was running away from Brock. Brock was ready to fight, and Cody was not. And he was running away. So he essentially did the thing, he goaded Brock out, ran around the ring, slid into the ring, Brock slid after him, and then starts wailing on him when Brock can't really defend himself. Something that basically MJF does. It's a very heel move. And then he starts hitting Brock with the cast that's made out of titanium. So he's using a weapon, essentially. It seems like a heel thing to do. It didn't play well for me. And I didn't like sort of the way they went with this, in that Brock won by breaking the arm even more. Cody passes out. I think there were some nice bits in there, multiple crossroads and an F5 and multiple Kimura attempts. It was everything you sort of expected, but I don't think this made Cody look particularly good because he sort of ran away at the beginning. He hit 2 crossroads and didn't pin Brock, which he should have learned from because he hit 2 crossroads on Roman and he lost. When he went for a third one. So he went for a third one on Brock, and Brock counters it almost immediately. And Brock wins by making Cody pass out with Kimura. I don't think this was particularly good. I really don't. I like the video package. I think the video package did a way better job of sort of telling a story than this match did, because this match, just dynamics and everything was all over the place for me. So yeah, I think we're going to get Brock Cody 3 probably either in a cage or Hell in a Cell or something like that. I think that would make the most sense. And that'd probably be the best match of the 3. But this as a middle chapter just didn't sit well with me. Wasn't much for it. Sorry. And then we got the main event. The main event. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens defending the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships against Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. After Roman Reigns made his big long entrance, where I got to do a lot of things like take a lot of boxes upstairs and sort the house out for a little bit with my girlfriend, and we came back down and Roman was still making his entrance. So it's so fucking long. Just walk a bit faster, Roman. But at the end of the day, this was a really good match. It fell, again, like a lot of Roman's matches though, it fell into the trap of being a bit too formulaic. Ref bumps, outside interference, working over someone and trash talking the crowd. It's a bit too rinse and repeat. But that's not what people are going to remember. They're not going to remember Kevin Owens hitting an awesome stunner and then immediately getting hit by a spear from Roman. They're not going to remember Sami Zayn doing a crazy dive to Solo Sikoa or a hot tag. They're going to be remembering the angle. So Roman accidentally spears the ref. The ref goes down. He's down for a while as well. It's a Roman match. He is down for a while. Usos run down, start beating up Kevin Owens, bury him in a table, push the announce table on him, all that stuff. And then the Usos get in the ring. They start wailing on Sami. Solo rises. They go to super kick Sami. Sami ducks. They clock Solo Sikoa right in the view of Roman Reigns. Reigns gets into the ring. Starts pushing Jimmy. Jimmy, who said he was a tribal chief. And Jay is doing the best character work out of all of them, I think. His, just, I don't know how to describe it. He's just on edge all the time. His anxiety in this group is playing up really, really strongly in this segment. And Roman pushes both of them. Gets in the face, pushes both of them. And then from out of nowhere, super kick to Roman. Clear as day. There was no hiding it, no accident from Jimmy. Jimmy clocks him. And from there, the bloodline falls apart. Jimmy is pleading to Jay, I did what you couldn't do. I finally did what you couldn't do. And Roman is just on his knees in the middle. It looks like they're both going to super kick him. I thought that was where it was going to go. Jay was going to super kick him as well. But they don't. Just Jimmy does it. Jimmy super kicks him again. Roman rolls out of the ring. And the Usos go onto the entrance ramp. Solo Sikoa comes back in the ring. Stunner from Kevin Owens. And they win. They win. Roman's lost. He lost the match. There was no shenanigans. No nothing. Roman didn't win by DQ. Didn't lose by DQ. Didn't lose by kicking too much ass like he did when he faced Seth Rollins. No. He lost clean as a whistle, essentially. And that's going to go down on his record, on his resume. He has now lost. What this does for Roman's character, I am so intrigued to see where this goes from here. I feel like we're putting the foot back on the pedal for the Bloodline story. This is really good stuff now. I'm very intrigued to see where we go with it. And the dynamics have just shifted wildly because Jay didn't contribute to this. It was all Jimmy, pretty much. I hope triple threat tag for the tag titles. Usos versus Solo and Roman versus Kevin Owens and Sami. I know Kevin Owens and Sami being in the Bloodline feud again, we might be done with that, but I think that's a really nice triangle match where the Bloodline can counter themselves in that and Sami and KO can retain. I just think that would work really, really well. But I'm so intrigued to see where this storyline goes. It's the angle everyone remember, essentially. No one remembers Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns from the Royal Rumble. They remember Sami turning on Roman. They're going to remember Jimmy turning on Roman here. So essentially it did its job. It wasn't a blowaway match. It wasn't like match of the year contender. But it was a great, great angle. Really great. Loved the entirety of sort of the Usos running in to the end of the show. And that was the show. That was everything. I think this was a 3 out of 5. That's it. I think it was a 3 out of 5. It had some really good stuff. Seth versus AJ was great. Gunther versus Ali was great. And the angle at the end was potentially an all-time greater. But it was just little hit misses in the middle for me that didn't click. Trish versus Becky was okay. The start of the main event was okay. The Asuka Belair match I really didn't get on board with. So there's a lot of stuff. Big mixed bag this show for me. So 3 out of 5. Let's go with 3 out of 5. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below about this show. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know everything you want down in the comments and I'll try and reply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much for your support and have a nice day.